sooner or later, but today's topic is all about, it's like a similar story of what I've been doing right now. It's how to get an address, or better, how to get an apartment, and all the necessary contact details for your working holiday visa before you actually move to Japan. Yeah, I know it's a little bit confusing, but just let's get started and you'll figure out it's actually not as complicated as you might think right now with everything else that I told you in previous episodes. I promise. For real, it's quite easy. Let's just imagine Corona doesn't exist, you don't need to apply for the ERFS system, you don't need to have a guarantor that provides you actually already with an address, because then it's quite easy. You just need to ask, where will I stay, dear guarantor organization? And then they give you the address, and then you can write it down in your application document, and then it's totally fine. When you go to Japan, you usually should expect a big size of apartments. And there are different ways of how to get an apartment, or maybe you should consider to live in a share house. Share houses are not a big thing in Japan, but in the bigger cities, especially in Tokyo, when you probably will arrive there, there are really good share houses that are easy to access, in the meaning of easy to rent out. Because when you don't speak Japanese and you don't really have anyone in Japan that can provide you with an apartment, then you actually already lost. So the good thing is, don't stress about it too much, because in the very beginning you just need to provide an address. It even can be a hotel or a hostel that you stay in the very first week. But what if you really want to stay in Tokyo, for example, for a little bit longer than maybe 1 week or 2 weeks in a hostel or hotel, and you really want to have a proper address because you're gonna stay maybe in Tokyo for 3 months. It's very, very, very stressful and almost impossible to get an apartment in Japan right away, because usually you also need a guarantor for that. Then you need to pay key money, then you need to pay shiki. You have to pay 3 extra months, like 2 or 3 extra months, sometimes 4 extra months beforehand of the proper rent that you pay. For example, when you have an apartment that will cost 70,000 yen, listed down below right there, the price is okay, but imagine now you have 70,000 multiplied by 3, then the key money, which will be maybe 10,000 yen, of course. Then you need to pay an extra deposit on top, which is usually, well, 1 or 2 paid month of living. Just imagine how expensive it is. Or whatever you have right now for the internet to use it. And check out share houses in Tokyo or the city that you would like to go to. So I can tell you, in Hiroshima you maybe have 1 or 2 share houses, so not kind of big options, but Osaka and more the northern area of Japan is pretty good with share houses. When I moved to Japan, you know, it's all about my experience and I share it with you next to doing some research. But yeah, listen, I'm coming a little bit closer because, you know, it's not really a secret. It smells quite good. Oak House, okay? Oak House. Right there should be the link of Oak House. Prices are good. Usually the rooms are quite big, so you only have a room for yourself, and then you have shared rooms. And I lived outside from Tokyo, near Yokohama. 10 to 15 minutes walk to the station, and then you basically would have been in Tokyo almost in 20-30 minutes. But in case you're interested in it, okay? I even had an onsen. You have the proper shower rooms, and then you have an onsen. How amazing is that? Big common rooms, and even a cinema room, which is also a music room, and big rooms with lots of storage. And you can even live there together. And then the rent of, I think it was 75,000 or 79,000 will be split in half, which is quite good. One more thing that you should know about Japan, because it's Japan and everything works a little bit different. I just distanced myself a little bit because it's about the time of when you can actually apply for an apartment. I don't know how it works in your country. In Germany and also in some more European countries, it's quite easy. You're checking out the internet or maybe the newspapers, and then you apply to a viewing that you cannot do because you're not in Japan yet. But yeah. And then you can sign the contract usually 2 months before, even 3 months before, depending when the apartment is available. But in Japan, it doesn't matter whether you saw a really nice apartment 3 months early and you're like, that's the deal. No. You only can sign the contract 1 month before. Which is quite annoying because that's the time when I was really stressed out, together with my friend Sabrina, who also came with me to Japan, and we lived together in that room. We were really stressed out because we had to apply for the working holiday visa. They say, well, you can apply 3 months beforehand, that's no problem. You just need to get ready for your date when you actually want to go to Japan. But Japan says, no, 1 month before. So in the next couple of weeks, when I do these beautiful, helpful, hopefully helpful videos for you, a lot will change in the background, and I always want to involve you because it really feels like talking to a friend and sharing experiences with each other. And that's what I really do enjoy. In case you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. As usual, all the information that I just told you about and every necessary, important or helpful documents are also in the video description down below. Just hit the link. But yeah, subscribe and talk to you next week. And yeah, next topic next week, right? So love you, mata ne, and bye bye, smoochy. Kaboo!